Glockamora. Is that little brook still leaping there? Does it still run down to Donnycove, through Killybegs, Kilkerry and Kildare?
Melissa, Errico, welcome back to On Stage, and congratulations on Finian's Rainbow.
Oh, thank you.
Such a beautiful, beautiful production. So, Melissa, I have to start things out with, how are things in Glockamora?
That's my first song.
You knew I was going to go there. I did.
I know that's on that little paper. Oh, Glockamora, Glockamora is amazing. It's, if for anyone out there doesn't know what we're talking about already, I've managed to lose them already. Glockamora is the town where my character comes from in Finian's Rainbow. And as it turns out, Glockamora is an imaginary town, and the same writers who wrote The Wizard of Oz are behind this, so it's like an Oz. It's a magical place, it's an Arcadian place, and it's a place in this case where people are tolerant of each other and are not racist and are loving, and so Glockamora is a stand-in for the idea of hope.
Absolutely.
So Glockamora is okay, we're keeping hope going, and we're putting on a beautiful show. People are finding it, I think, quite reassuring and happy. So I couldn't be happier to be a part of it. It's
so beautiful. And what I love about this production, Melissa, is that I feel like the music is at the center of this production. You know, I've seen a couple of productions of Finian's Rainbow over the years, but for this, it's rather pared down, and the music is right in front. It's a celebration of the music of this glorious score. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I can't agree more with you on that. One of the I've been in the business now 30 years. One of the things that makes this still fascinating and unique is that there's not a microphone in the theater. There's no speakers, there's no microphones. There's a sort of a Celtic sort of jazz chamber orchestra. There's a piano, violin, cello, and harp. And they're behind us, and there are voices up front on the stage. We are singing like people used to sing. When we need to color the end of a note, I've been on Broadway so many times, they put a little something, the sound man, you wink at him before the show, you work it out. No, I'm just kidding. But he can make you, that's how they do it. Always be nice to the sound man and the lighting. Back. And they always say, and the lighting designer. Be nice, you'll be in the dark, they're mad at you. But they can lift the voice with microphones, and they can put a little what they call sweetener on the voice to finish a sentence, and also to blend two voices. We have nothing. We are just doing a completely acoustic evening of musical theater. That gives me 9 to 11 songs in which, with other people singing sometimes, or solos, I have to create all the colors all by myself, and also mix with the instruments. And if I want to make a strong, crescendo, and there's a lot of people singing, I literally walk forward because I will get closer to the audience, thus louder. Just to, so you do things that they might have been doing in, the 40s when people like Mary Martin were doing musicals.
Absolutely.
So this is a beautiful experience. I must say, the first 2 days when I realized what we were doing, I thought this was crazy. Yeah. This is crazy. Yeah. I didn't know how to do it. I'm used to being helped.
Right.
And I actually kind of jammed a little bit mentally. I thought, this is not gonna, this is like low budget. This is silly. It's not low budget.
Not
it's
at all.
Artistry, and it's a wonderful opportunity. But I've never been in a musical situation like this, ever. So vocally, I need to, and the funny thing is you learn about projection of a human voice. The harder you press it, it doesn't project better. Yeah. I learn about the inside of the instrument, the resonance, really. So it's been a great experience. Every night I'm up there, and I know we're doing something quite unusual.
It's beautiful. You are returning to this role. You did this role back in 2004, the role of Sharon. You're now back doing it a couple years later now.
A couple years later. I like that. Thank you. You're
Talk
very
about
polite.
how much she's grown and how much you've grown, in the role.
Well, I've never been in a situation. I mean, I did Eliza Doolittle on Broadway when I was in my early 20s, and then again in my 30s, and that was with John Lithgow in LA. And that was a wonderful experience to sort of revisit a character like Eliza, who's such an important character, and to be sort of grown up at that time. I still wasn't a mother. I've done this role in my, for over a period of 15 years, and done concerts and 2 productions, and now revisiting it again. I have 3 children, and they're not just children; they're like people. They have real, well, not just children, they're people.
They're people. They're people.
They were always people in diapers,
real.
I know. They say, that they are, from the dawn you see the day. But I'm now seeing the day. I have these beautiful people in my life, and the show is a lot about passing values forward from generation to generation, not just of Glockamora, but of hope and equality, and in our play, there are mentions of the Constitution and things like that.
Melissa, let me ask you this. You know, we know you as a songstress. You have a gorgeous, gorgeous singing voice. You've done, like you mentioned, you know, Lerner and Lowe, Michel Legrand, Stephen Sondheim. You played many of his roles. If you had to pick one composer, someone that you've worked with in your past, to score your story, the Melissa story, who would you pick and why?
What a crazy, wonderful question. Who would compose my life story? Maybe my brother, I don't know. I would have to be a musical theater person. Well, Michel Legrand would only be one part of my mind. You see, that's the romantic windmills part. This is an unfair and wonderfully unfair question. I love you for it, and I'm on television, so I must give you an answer. I want to say Sondheim because but I'm not sure I might be too nice for Sondheim. Maybe it's a combination. Maybe it's that combination that they didn't enjoy, but I still think was wonderful, of Rodgers and Sondheim. I just did Do I Hear a Waltz,
You
and
did.
I think that the entanglement of that idealism and his intellectualism, I think actually I enjoyed Do I Hear a Waltz because I liked the friction.
I like that.
So I'll go back. If they don't mind meeting again, we can all meet in Glockamora and we can have a good fight and we'll put on a good musical.
There you go. I'm
They
in.
say musicals are dramatic and everyone argues and so on.
Count me in.
Not always true.
Bring me along and I'm there. Melissa, thank you so much for coming in. Congratulations again on such a beautiful revival of Finian's Rainbow. Folks can catch it now at the Irish Rep.
And extended.
Extended.
They keep coming. New Year's with, with Glockamora.
There you go.
Thank you.